Do you ever feel stuck? Stuck in a routine? Stuck in a rut of life? Do you ever feel this inner longing, like a desire, a thirst that can't be quenched? This search for something, even if you're not sure what that is. You just have a knowing or a feeling that there's something more. But maybe you don't know what that is. I'm going to tell you that something is you. It's your calling. And if you've ever felt this way before, then this retreat is for you. And through the course of this video, I'm going to tell you why this retreat is for you. I'm Mary. I'm the teacher at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. And today I'm talking about the retreat that's coming up in June of 2025 called I Shine Inner Fire Retreat. This retreat is going to be from the afternoon of June 19th until the afternoon of June 22nd, 2025 in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Little Scaly Mountain is where we're going to be for 3 whole nights, getting in touch with ourselves, shedding what's not ourselves, but what we've been led to believe is ourselves, and really aligning with our true spirit and who we're meant to be. So let's dive in. The first thing you have to do is gather a little bit of information. Decide to yourself, is this for me? And if you're watching this video, chances are, yes, it is for you, because the call will not miss you, and you can't miss your destiny. You're destined for it. So let me give you some information about this upcoming retreat, I Shine Inner Fire Retreat. I'm so excited about it. I'm fired up about it. It's going to be hot. It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be in the Nantahala National Forest in the Blue Ridge Mountains. So the food there, let's talk a little bit about the food. The mountain has its own food farm, its own organic gardens and apiaries where it grows its own herbs and vegetables and fruits, makes its own honey. So a lot of what you will be eating in the dining hall is organically grown right there on the mountain. Of course, if you get a ticket and you have food allergies, sensitivities, or you're vegan, gluten-free, whatever that is, you can just let us know. And the chef has already agreed to accommodate because they want what is healthy for you. You can't go through a 3-day cleansing process and spiritual journey, putting gunk and junk into your body. So your physical aspects of self are really important here. The food is a regenerative culture of contributing to Mother Earth, to the mountain, reaping those rewards and then giving back. So there's also an energetic aspect to the food as well, so that we don't waste and that we take what is right there on the mountain for us and then giving back in love and generosity and gratefulness while we're there. So there's an entire exchange that will enlighten you to have a different relationship with what you are putting into your body and with what the earth is actually providing for you. Next, let's talk about the lodging. Everyone is going to be staying at the lodge. And the lodge has many rooms. I think it's 12 rooms. And each person is going to have 1 to 2 roommates, just depending. Most people will have 1 roommate, so there'll be 2 people per room. There's 2 beds. Each room has its own bathroom, and each room has its own thermostat. All of the rooms have charging ports and things like that. Yes, we're on a mountain. Yes, this is a very primal type of retreat, but you're going to have all of the comforts of home inside of the lodge. You will have this roommate, and that's an important thing. When we think about roommates, we don't always think excitedly about it, especially if it's somebody we don't know. Everybody likes to have their own space, and you will. But with the roommate situation, what ends up coming up is your ability to interact and connect, your ability to be safe with another person. This retreat, one of the big things that you're going to find about this retreat is that we're placing it in an intimate setting where you learn how to be supported, cheered on, and celebrated by a group of other like-minded people. And it doesn't matter the age or the background or the religion of these people, because this retreat isn't about any of that. Physically, it's not about the age. You know, if you're young and you can move up and down the mountain, great. If you're older and you need a little help, we have shuttles. None of this is too physically demanding. It's not about religion either, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, Hindu, Baha'i, it doesn't matter because we're not teaching a religion. We're here to help you connect in with who you authentically and inherently are, your spirit, connecting in a new way with the earth, connecting in a new way with wisdom, connecting in a new way with love and with physical people, having a support system. Some of you don't actually know what it's like to be cheered on, celebrated, and supported by others. Some of you don't know what it's like to be able to share your emotions and still feel safe. And this is what this is about. We are learning to connect with other people, to feel safe with other people in this environment. There's always options for lodging, so just reach out to us personally if you need something different than what's being offered with your ticket. But your ticket is all inclusive. It includes all of your meals for while you're here. It includes the lodging and it includes all of the activities that you're going to be engaging in during your 3-night stay with us. Now let's talk about the healers. So with our healers, our facilitators, there's going to be amazing people here. These people didn't just wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to facilitate firewalking. I think I'm going to facilitate cacao ceremonies. I think I'm going to journey with people. These are people who have spent their entire lives building up to this moment. These are people who, in their chosen event that they're facilitating, they have spent their lives working through these things on their own, developing their skills, and they know what you're going through and the medicine for it. Our first healer I want to talk about is Erin. She is our vice president here at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center, and she is also going to be facilitating that emotional processing circle. This is called a lab group, Life's Anonymous Battles. And when you're around this circle, this is super, super important. We talked about you being supported in a group and you being safe to express your emotions with other people. But also, this is important because you have to process all of the things happening to you throughout this event. This event is ceremony after ceremony after ceremony, and ceremonies make really big shifts emotionally, energetically, and spiritually, whether you logically know it or not. All of these ceremonies are things that normally you would only do one of at a time. Normally you would do one ceremony, give yourself some time to process, a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but we're doing many back-to-back ceremonies within a 3-day period. So you have to be able to process, and Erin is the one who helps you with that. She welcomes you into the fire circle, and everyone gets a chance to put their voice out there. You're going to find that your voice is super important in this retreat as well, because nobody gets to not be present. If you are there physically, that means you're going to be there energetically, and people are going to support you in that. You're going to have a voice, you're going to get to speak, you're going to get to yell, you're going to get to dance, you're going to get to be an expressive soul. You will express during this retreat. So while we're sitting around this circle, Erin, who does so much work with emotions, she's a Leo moon, So if you know anything about astrology, you know what that means. It's all about that emotion and how that's flowing through with her. And she's going to facilitate that, support you guys, help you process. This isn't a time where anyone gives you advice, tells you what to do, or engages with your story. But this is a time where one by one, you get to simply speak what you experience, how you feel, and be supported. Know that you're safe in that nobody's judging you, that nobody is forming an opinion of you. Because it's not even about what you're speaking, it's about the opportunity to be held for a few moments. And then you get the opportunity to learn how to do that for somebody else. The next healer I want to talk about is Sammy. Sammy is the administrator for Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center, and her life has been about the shadow. She is a Scorpio rising, so that really helps with all of this. She's going to be facilitating the inner journey work and energy healing portions of this retreat. So when you're working with her, we're learning how to integrate the shadow to really face ourselves. A lot of people think that the shadow is the part of us that is bad or that should be rejected. And that's what made the shadow to begin with, is our self-rejection. The shadow is actually all the parts of us that we reject or that we don't know about ourselves, meaning that the shadow holds all of your power and your gifts. Because deep inside, your biggest fear isn't failure. It isn't not being enough. It isn't a lack of safety. It isn't about all of those core issues that you think you have. It's about putting yourself out there and actually doing the thing that you want to do. Your biggest fear is being big. Your biggest fear is being powerful, because the human ego mind goes, okay, but then what? If I put myself out there, I'm gonna die. If I'm rejected, I'm gonna die. If I fail, I'm gonna die. And this is where you get to realize that that's not real, because that's not who you are. I'm not this. I'm not my ego. I'm not my human. And through the work with Sammy that you'll be doing, you'll get to understand that. You'll get to shed all of those beliefs, look at the things that you've built in order to keep yourself safe in this life. We build beliefs about ourselves because we might have been rejected one time, and now we know, okay, if I act like this, or if I do this thing, or if I say this thing, something bad is going to happen. And this is the part where you get to say, that's no longer real for me. I am powerful. I am big. I understand my gifts and what I bring, and how me being authentically me is what the world needs and is what I need. So you'll get to do everything with the shadow, ego death, breaking apart all of those pieces that aren't actually you, and shedding all of that. The next facilitator I'd like to speak about is Jared. Jared is our event coordinator here at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center. And he has so many little hidden talents that anytime he tells me a new thing that he can do, I don't even know what to say. This man, he knows everything. I don't know how he does. But what he is going to be facilitating during this particular event is our sweat bath experience and sound healing. During the sweat bath experience, this is a modified sweat lodge. And he has a very specific design that he created. And we're going to be undergoing multiple rounds of sweat in order to shed those layers. So this isn't necessarily something that you logically are going to say, oh, this is what I'm shedding. This is where you begin to push your physical body into understanding that it can sweat, that it can shed. You're going to be sweating out toxins, but at the same time, you are shedding energetically and emotionally. The sweat bath experience is designed to be like the womb of Mother Earth. It's not something so hot that it can't be stood or you're going to pass out. It's something warm, something you're held within. It's a safe space. So when you're in that space, you're receiving something that you should have received in the womb. You're receiving love, you're receiving honor, and you're understanding what it feels like to be your authentic self without having to be in the world where you have to protect yourself. You're completely safe here. And when you're completely safe here, you come into an understanding of your authenticity. During this sweat bath experience, you will be coming into an understanding of your inner luminous warrior. Now, in shamanic terms, the luminous warrior is who we are once we can integrate our shadows with our light. And once we do that, we realize we don't have any enemies, that there's really nothing to protect ourselves from, that we're nothing but love, that everything is okay, that we're just pure power. And when we're the luminous warrior, we are safe to express, we are safe to be and live our purpose, and everything is just beautiful, luminous, the beauty way. Everything is as it should be, and we are free to engage with our calling. So as you connect in with your inner luminous warrior, feeling what that feels like for you personally, seeing if you're visual, what that looks like for you personally. You'll get to carry that with you into the next couple of nights. He also does sound bath experiences. So he plays the Native American flute as well as does crystal singing bowls and things like that. So he is going to bless us at some point in this experience with his sacred sound. I now want to speak about Katie. Katie is such a sweet soul, and you're going to really get a lot from her. Katie is going to be the first face you see every single morning as she greets us on Meditation Rock with the sunrise. If you choose to engage with this, which I encourage all of you to do this, you will meet her first thing in the morning at sunrise on Meditation Rock, where she will help you set intentions for each day. Each day, you're going to experience something different. So on Friday, your first full day with us, this is going to be our Yang day, the day that is more masculine. There's more heat, there's more shedding, there's more of that masculine Yang nature there. So when we're with her, we're going to be setting our intentions to what we want to get rid of, what we want to shed, what doesn't belong in our lives anymore, what isn't working for us, what's holding us back, seeing what's blocking us. And then after breakfast, she's going to guide us through a yoga experience where we're going to be doing some chanting to open up our channel and help awaken and raise our Kundalini energy. And through yoga movements, we will be awakening and raising that Kundalini energy. She has amazing knowledge of the breath, of the movements, of the yin, of the yang, and I'm super excited to see what she has to offer with all of this. The next full day that you're with us, that Saturday, is going to be our yin day. So on that day, this is where we're looking more into the dark, into the feminine, into receiving, into letting ourselves be who we are. So we've already cracked ourselves open, and now we get to let ourselves shine and receive everything that was meant for us, all of the blessings, all of the gifts. If you think of a seed that's placed into the ground, when you first come to this retreat, your mindset and emotions might be that seed placed into the ground and left is alone in the darkness, unprotected by itself. After your Yang day, you're going to understand that seed was placed into the very womb of Mother Earth, that you as a sacred being were given to the womb of Mother Earth herself, and that she's holding you and filling you and nurturing you and just loving you until it overflows from you and there's nothing left for you to do but crack open. And this is good. We don't need a shell. We don't need to be contained. We need to be open, abundant, expressive. And once you're cracked open on Yang Day, In yin day is where that inner light, the God spark that was in that what was in that shell gets to begin to shine out and grow and peek out through the soil to be seen by others. This is a sacred, special time, specially designed just for you and for this type of experience. So on Yin Day, we're going to be doing intentions more in line with love, bliss, the heart space, the womb space, what we want to receive, who we are as a blessing and as a gift, and growing that, shining that, and expressing that. And through this experience, the movement of the yoga is going to be slightly different. The chant is going to be a different chant, more heart centered. And we're going to have different experiences on that day. Next, I want to talk about Ron and Patty. They are our fire walkers. They are facilitating the fire walking ceremony. Don't be afraid. I've heard so many people say, oh, well, I want to do all the rest, but not this part. Guys, the point of this retreat is to overcome fear. Overcome your fear, to push yourself into life-changing experiences, ceremonies, and rituals that show you who you are and what you are capable of. And you are capable of big, powerful things. So, Ron and Patty have trained in Mexico and Sweden. They know what they're doing. I trust them. I feel safe with them. And when they come, they're bringing a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience, and they're going to help you. You're not going to be thrown into the lion's den with this. They're going to build a small square of coals that we get to experience just for a moment what it feels like to simply overcome the fear. Because you're going to find that walking across a 1 foot space of heat is not a big deal. The big deal is your fear of walking across that space. And once you can overcome that, the rest is easy peasy lemon squeezy. So they're going to start out with that small square and then slowly build it up and build it up until we have a nice path to walk and feel empowered. And everyone else is going to be cheering for you, yelling your name, supporting you, screaming for you. And you have not experienced that. This is for you. This is for you. I've never done firewalking either, but I imagine I'm probably going to have to go first. And I'm okay with that because I can't expect anyone else in this group to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. So we will be doing this. It's going to be an amazing experience of overcoming fear, of empowerment, of personal growth. And this is just perfect. It's just for you. Now, I guess I need to speak a bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Mary. I'm the teacher here at Earth and Star Spiritual Wellness Center, and I'm going to be doing a couple of things during this retreat. The first thing that you'll experience with me is a cacao ceremony. So on your yin day, this is where we will meet. We will come into a very heart-centered bliss space and partake in sacred plant medicine. Cacao, in its pure form, is known as a sacred plant medicine, meaning that it is medicine to your soul, to your body, to your energy. It has amazing benefits physically. And it works on your cardiovascular system, not your nervous system. So it's different than something like coffee that can make you feel nervous and jumpy. With cacao, because it's on your cardiovascular system, it strengthens the beat of what's happening in your heart space. And it really connects you and lights up your brain. All the molecules in your brain are lighting up. And we will go through some beautiful healing journey work while we partake in this medicine. You're going to meet Mama Cacao during this. And because it's a sacred ceremony, we're going to be singing to Mama Cacao. We're going to be loving Mama Cacao, being grateful to Mama Cacao as she gives her medicine to us. This is such a beautiful, soft, loving experience. And I'm really excited to share in it with you. The next thing I will be facilitating in this I Shine Inner Fire retreat is as a trance channel as we do the drum circle. During the drum circle, this is again where you get to be expressive. You get to bang on your drum, be loud, and at some point you're gonna wanna howl, you're going to wanna scream, you might want to dance around the fire or run circles. I know I will be, so that means you guys are gonna do it with me. And we're going to have our tribal paint on to represent your inner luminous warrior that you came to during your sweat bath experience. So you're not even going to feel like you, not this you, not the human you. You're going to feel like you when you step into that experience. And after we do a bit of this drum circle, this screaming, this howling, this dancing, this luminous warrior expression, then I'm going to sit and connect in with the spirit of the mountain. The spirit of the mountain came to me and to the vice president before we even chose this property to have the retreat at, because it was calling us. It was part of the calling. In the Nantahala Forest, in the Blue Ridge Mountains, something about the energy of this space is perfect for what we are holding for you. This space that's being held for you is exactly what you need. And the spirit of the mountain, because all mountains have a spirit, all plants have a spirit, it's very big. It's wisdom. Mountains tend to be more masculine in nature because they are closer to the heavens and they have this wisdom. They pull down knowledge. Whereas flatlands and plains are more feminine and they hold us and nurture us. They have those negative ions that ground us. So while we are connecting in with Mother Earth while we're here and having our yin day and our sweat bath experience, we're also balancing that with the masculine and the wisdom that's there to be offered, because we are both on the inside. And this spirit of the mountain, I will trance channel this spirit to give each of you an energetic blessing. Now, I also feel like you could have an opportunity to ask a question and see what channels through. But keep in mind that since you are asking the spirit of a mountain, an elemental, to answer this question, the answer you get may not be what you think it is. It may not be what you're expecting, but it's going to be the medicine that you need. And as each person receives their blessing, receives something from the spirit of the mountain, feels that they can integrate this medicine with the fire, you get to be loud again. You get to accept that, take that on. You've honored things. You've recognized the sacred, holy space that you're in. And now we get to run again, scream again. Just really be thankful and grateful to the mountain and the elements of the fire and the earth and the air and the water, everything that's there for your experience. So now let's just talk a little bit about your schedule. Of course, this is a tentative schedule. We may rearrange things a little bit here and there as needed. But on Thursday, June 19th, between 3 and 4, this is going to be your check-in and room assignment. So you will be at the mountain, hopefully no later than 4:30. We will have a shuttle running from the Asheville Regional Airport to the mountain retreat. We'll email everybody who gets tickets to see when everyone's flying in, because we've kind of got to get everybody on board at the same time to bring everyone in. But those are logistics that we'll deal with at a later time. When we get there, check in between 3 and 4, no later than 4:30. You'll get your room assignment. You'll get the opportunity to put up your things, meet your roommate, and meet us back in the great room of the lodge around 5 p.m. This is where we're going to do some sort of orientation. We want everybody to know everywhere around the mountain that they're going to be facilitated with different things. That means that, we're going to show you where Meditation Rock is. We're going to show you where the amphitheater is, where we're having our channeling and our drum circle and a lot of our meetings. We're going to show you how to get to the base of the mountain, where we're going to be doing fire walking in the sweat bath experience. So that way, You're going to know where you need to be at what time, because we are doing this in groups of two, meaning that we're going to have group one and group two, and they're going to split, and you guys are going to be doing different things at different times to make the groups more intimate and manageable for each facilitator. I've used the word intimate in this video a few different times, and that's because we didn't set up hundreds of tickets for this event on purpose. We don't want to sit and talk at a huge crowd of people. We want to be able to have a manageable group that we can talk to each person, touch each person, and make sure that each person is cared for during every single ceremony. That's important. You don't walk into ceremony and not engage with your teacher in some capacity. You are not just receiving the medicine of what's happening, but you're receiving energetic frequencies and vibrations from your teachers and all of the wisdom and experiences that they've been through. So it's important to have a more intimate setting where we can help each of you. We won't have hours to work with each of you, but as a group, we'll be able to keep up with you, watch your energy, see how you're receiving, see what else you need, and interact. So this is a way that you can be held within our energetic space during each ceremony. So then after your orientation, we're going to be having our evening meal in the commons. And then at 8 o'clock, we're going to be going to our amphitheater where we are igniting this sacred fire. The sacred fire is super important because every fire that we have, we're learning how to work with elementals a little bit more personally, right? So every sacred fire that we have, we open sacred space in a very special way. We're not just taking from the fire, we are offering to the fire. We are making sure that there's love and appreciation and gratefulness to the fire. So each person who's going to be in this retreat gets a chance to give some sort of offering and participate in opening sacred space with the fire. You're going to be doing so much with the fire throughout this weekend, the sweat bath, the fire walking, the drum circles around the fire, that it's important that you have some sort of relationship with the fire at the start. Now, on the next day, which is Friday, June 20th, this is going to be your first full day. Remember, this is Yang Day. So on that day, we're going to get up early. We're going to set our intentions at sunrise at Meditation Rock with Katie. We're going to be doing our chanting, our mudras, our yoga back in the great room of the lodge. To get everything flowing, we're going to have breakfast, and then we're going to start our group work. So group one is going to go into the sweat bath experience at the base of the mountain, and group two is going to get to go into healing work and journey work with Sammy. This is going to last about an hour and a half, and then we're going to break for lunch, and then the groups get to switch. So your first full day will be spent with Katie, Jared, and Sammy. That afternoon, before you go into dinner, you will have your first lab group experience with Erin, where you're going to get to process everything that came up for you during your healing work and your shadow work and your sweat bath experience, and really just let yourself be held for a minute and express all of that. The fire is a beautiful mulching agent, which is why we do this emotional processing around a fire, a sacred fire, because as you speak during the first rotation, you're really putting a lot of emotion into the fire, and the fire transmutes that. The fire does alchemy. It transforms everything. And then by the second round you might realize, oh, I feel a bit lighter now. I feel a bit calmer now. And you don't even realize it, but the fire is acting as medicine for your emotional space. After that with Erin, you're going to go into your evening meal at the Commons, and then that night you get to do fire walking at the base of the mountain, learning what you're made of, overcoming your fear, pushing yourself so that you are coming into your full power and shedding everything off before Yin Day. Saturday, That full day is your yin day. Once again, you're going to meet with Katie at Meditation Rock to set intentions for that day. We're going to move into some chanting, mudras, yoga in the great room. We'll have our breakfast meal, and then you're going to break into your two groups. Group one is going to go into cacao ceremony with me. Group two is going to do more healing work at a different location. Now, you're going to get 2 days of this healing work with Sammy. So, one day might be more about that shadow and shedding, and day two might be a little bit more about empowerment, your personal gifts, understanding your authenticity and what you have to offer, what your luminous warrior actually is, your renaming. Whatever needs to come up during that healing work is going to come up on Yin Day. We'll have our midday meal, and then the groups will switch, and we're going to go through that. And then we're going to get the chance to do some luminous warrior painting. Remember your luminous warrior that comes up to you in the sweat bath experience. This is where you actually get to intuitively paint your face. Everyone will have their own paints, paint brushes, all of that kind of stuff, and you can do whatever colors or tribals or pictures that you desire that you feel like represents your luminous warrior that you felt and that you saw in your sweat bath experience. And this luminous warrior is so super important, because when we later that evening go into the drum circle, you want to look like who you actually are inside. Now, everything is always going to turn out different than you're imagining in your mind. So don't overthink this. If you're overthinking it, if you're already sitting there thinking to yourself, oh, I know what I'm going to look like, then you've already done it wrong. This isn't a masculine experience where you plan it and then do it. This is a feminine experience where it's intuitive, where it flows in the moment. And you won't know your inner luminous warrior until your sweat bath experience anyways. But when we come to do this, you're going to realize that it looks very different, and you're going to feel very different behind this paint. I paint my face for all of my winter solstice events, drum circles, things like that. I wear feathers, and one thing that I notice is when I'm looking like that, when I'm doing it, I'm tapping into my inner wild, the inner drumbeat, the heartbeat that connects to the earth. And then when I look at myself afterwards, I'm like, huh, who is this person? Who is this person in the mirror I'm seeing right now? Because we're used to looking in the mirror and seeing this and wearing this as our shell. But remember, our shell is cracked open. We're not this. We're the God spark inside of this. And so that luminous warrior paint helps you understand that you're not this, and that you can be whatever you want to be. You can be as loud and as wild and as crazy as you want to be, and that's okay, because that's actually who you are. So we're going to get the chance to do that luminous warrior face paint. We're going to go into our evening meal. There is going to be a drum circle practice before we actually start the drum circle, for those of you who are interested in that. Katie is going to be facilitating this just to help you learn a few little drum patterns. The drum circle, again, is also very intuitive. When we sit with that, we're really just kind of playing off of each other, connecting into the heartbeat of the earth and the heartbeat inside, and just allowing ourselves to let go and flow. And we'll talk more about the drum circle when we're actually there and what it actually does, because it's a very transcendental experience. But we're also going to learn a few drum patterns, because as I begin to trance channel and call in that spirit of the mountain, we want to be able to raise the energy and raise the vibrational levels to a point where I can get into that transcendental state and open myself up to be that channel. And everyone participates. Everyone plays a role in bringing up this channel. We all are so interconnected, and this is what I've been saying about this whole experience. We're so interconnected. We're all going to be supporting each other and contributing through the entire thing. So learning a few little drum patterns. Not everybody might want to drum or learn the drum patterns. Some people might be more about the dancing or the running or the screaming, whatever that is, and that's fine. Most drum circles have dancers and then they have the drummers. I tend to do a little bit of both. So whatever is your bag of jam, that's your bag of jam. So then after that, we're going to do the trance channeling. We're going to get you a little blessing. You might get to ask a question, and that'll go until, knowing me, hopefully not past midnight because Mama likes to be asleep at that time. Then on Sunday, once again, we're getting up. At sunrise, we're meeting Katie on Meditation Rock. We're setting our intentions for that day. And then we're moving into some chanting and mudras. We're not going to do yoga on this day. We're going to let our bodies rest because it's been through so much. But we are going to continue to raise our Kundalini energy. We are going to continue to clear our channel through chanting. Then we're going to go into our morning meal. And after that, we're going to go into our second lab group experience of emotional processing. This is really important for us to be able to do together before we leave this experience, because once again, it's connecting us all in and giving us the opportunity to support one another one last time, to hold that safe space, to celebrate and cheer on each other just one last time, and leave everything behind that we used to be. This is giving you that last opportunity to cement in who you have learned you are through this experience and make the conscious effort decision to leave everything else there with the fire, with the mountain. After this lab group experience, we're all going to get together and have a little bit more of a talk where I believe at this time Jared's going to get to bless us with his sacred sound. So his singing bowls or his flute, whatever he decides, whatever he's called towards. I think this man can even play the didgeridoo, and I don't know how he does that, honestly. But he is a wind spirit, so nothing he does should surprise me. We will have lunch on that day. So on Sunday, when you first get there on Thursday, you will have a dinner meal. And Sunday before you leave, you will have breakfast and a lunch meal. But after your lunch meal, you have some free time to hike, swim, explore the mountain. There is a lake there. There is a meditation circle at the base of the mountain. So there's lots of other places to explore and to get to know on the mountain besides just the places that we're hosting these events. So you'll have a couple of hours to do that, but checkout is at 2. So you'll have to make sure that you have all of your things and are taken care of. We will have a shuttle take you back to the airport at that time. So you don't have to worry about that if you choose to do the shuttle. On our website, and the link is here in the description, we have given you all of the steps that you need to plan this trip. Your first step, obviously, is going to be to get your ticket because we only have so many spaces available. And once you get your ticket, then you can plan your shuttle. And that's also a link available if you want to get your space on the shuttle. It is a small extra fee, but it's much cheaper than getting a taxi or an Uber. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and book that as well. Get your ticket, get your bus ticket, and go ahead and just, I don't know why balloons are happening. I didn't do that, but if you know my channel, Spirit just does things on my computer whenever it's necessary. So anyways, after you've gotten your ticket and all of those and your shuttle ticket, then you get to plan how you're going to get there. So you might need a plane ticket or rent a car, whatever you want to do with all of that. There is limited parking space on the mountain itself because that's the area we have at the base of the mountain to do the ceremonies. That's where we're going to be doing the fire walking and the sweat bath experience. So we prefer people take the shuttle versus rent cars, just letting you know. But of course, everybody has the free will and the opportunity to do whatever is best for them so that they have the best and most comfortable experience. So after you get your tickets and you've planned how you're going to get to the mountain, then you're going to download the Team Snap app. This Team Snap app is essentially how you are going to receive live updates from facilitators, and our schedule is also going to be posted there. So it's kind of like a team, and this team gets to message. You can direct message other teammates, or you can post group messages, but it's going to have your full schedule on there, so you know where you're supposed to be at what time according to what group you are, and if there's any changes that will go live on there. And this is just a good way to stay up to date. Now, after that, you basically just get to pack up. We have a little bit there about some things that you might need on the website. We want to make sure that you're comfortable. This is in June, so you're probably going to be warm. You might want some warm clothing, meaning like clothes that make you cool. You also might want some cool clothing to wear while you're in the sweat bath experience, whether you want to wear a bathing suit or a tank top or just something you feel comfortable sweating in. Guys, we're going to be crunchy. And that's good. You're going to learn that you don't have to be so combed and brushed and floral smelling in order to be loved and accepted. We're going to get dirty with the earth. We're going to do all of these events and everything's going to be fine. Okay. So bring things that you can get sweaty in, that you might even get a little bit dirty. And you also might want to bring some sweaters though, because in June in the evening on the top of the mountain, it might get a little bit cool. You might still want something you can swim in if you decide that you want to go down to the lake after all of our events. You might want to bring things that can be rained in, because this stuff is going to go on rain or shine. This is our event, and whatever ends up happening is spirit driven. So we accept anything that happens, any weather that comes up. So if it rains during firewalking, we're going to firewalk in the rain. But if there's, for whatever reason, you can't get wet, or certain articles of clothing that you don't want to get too wet, then you can plan for that. We want to make sure that you bring bug spray, sunscreen, things like that. You are going to be receiving your own mala beads while you're with us, and a water bottle. These are our gifts to you. So you can fill that water bottle up and use that throughout the retreat experience. If you have your own malas that you would like to use during our chanting and yoga experience, you can bring those, or you can take advantage of the ones that we have to offer you while you're here. That's pretty much it. The shuttle's going to take you back to the airport on Sunday, unless you want to extend your stay. There's a lot around this area in the Blue Ridge Mountains that you are more than welcome to plan on your own. Make this a whole big vision quest. Make this a big experience. Be with us for 3 days and then head over to Cherokee or Asheville, anywhere you want to be. We're going to be in Highlands, so you can pick any of the surrounding areas to go visit. There's waterfalls, there's hiking, there's gem mines, horseback riding. There's tons of things in North Carolina to do in these mountains. So that's it. Then you just get to relax. And I promised you that I would tell you why this retreat is for you. If you're watching this video, this retreat is for you. And it's for you because you are the change. You have the opportunity to be who you are by releasing who you're not. You have the opportunity to connect and align with true love, meaning the bliss love, meaning the Christ consciousness love, the kind of love that's simply connection and support and flow, the kind of love that you feel through the web of existence, not because somebody needs your approval or wants something from you. This is your opportunity to feel inner love by being supported by a group. And this is why it's for you. And this is why now is the time to get your ticket and engage with this experience. Now is the time to have this retreat, because this is your calling. Now is the time that we have all been called to do this. Your calling is your purpose and your true prosperity. Prosperity isn't about money. Prosperity is about what makes you feel inspired to live and to create. And only through experiences like this, vision quests, connection, and releasing everything you're not and finding who you are, only through experiences like this do you reach your calling and understand your prosperity. Because that is your calling. It is your calling to prosper, to shine. Now is the time to learn how to shine so that by the time you leave this event, you feel that heart connection, you feel open and aligned in light, and you get to say to the universe, I shine. Thank you. I hope to see you very soon in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Stay on the lookout at our channel because we are going to be doing recorded interviews with each of our facilitators over the next few months. So you're going to get the opportunity to meet virtually all of the facilitators who you're going to be working with, all of the teachers, all of the healers, and you might want the opportunity to do that. We're also going to be giving out more information as we go. As you get your tickets, we'll be emailing with you from time to time. So if you have any questions, don't feel like you just don't know. Don't feel like you're just pushed out there feeling unsafe or floundering. We're here to answer your questions. You can always email us at earthandstarwellness@gmail.com. Feel free to ask questions because if you feel like this is for you, you really want to get those answers. You want to feel safe coming, and we're ready to hold you and to welcome you in.